What to do when you're just not feeling so good within you. Now, this is a really common thing. You might not believe it, and when you're not feeling good within you, you feel really alone. Alrighty, and you feel as if no one else understands. You feel as if you're the only one that feels this way. I totally get it. I understand. I've just kind of had a couple of days myself feeling these exact feelings. So that's the main reason I wanted to do this video today, because I was experiencing it. And, it helps when someone else is experiencing it, and it helps you to feel, that it's not, you're not alone and it's okay. And I think that's one of the main and the most important things, is when you're not feeling good within you, is to actually be able to recognize that. Recognize it and understand that it's okay not to feel okay. Alrighty, we're not robots. We're not going to feel 100% happy day in and day out. Alrighty, life is like a roller coaster. Our emotions, our feelings, they're like waves. So if you think of it like the ocean, our emotions, our feelings, they're temporary. The waves, they'll come in and then they go out. Alrighty, so rest assured in that sense. And that's something that really helped me along my journey, is actually understanding and knowing that how you feel right now isn't going to stay forever, and it's not going to be there forever. Alrighty, they're temporary. Our feelings and our emotions are temporary. They come and they go. Alrighty, now let me just say, I guess, if you were someone that is experiencing, depressive thoughts and feeling low and down and just not great within yourself on a constant basis, please, by all means, talk to somebody. Get further help from a professional, from a counselor. Go to your GP, because I want you to be around. I don't want it to get to the point that you feel as if you have no other way. Alrighty, because I have experienced friends in the past that have taken their own lives, and it's really sad, and it shouldn't get to that point. So it's really important, if you or someone around you is at the point of having constant depressive thoughts or constant thoughts where they're down on themselves, then it's time to get some further help. Alrighty, and there's nothing shameful about asking for help. I actually think it's extremely strong. Being able to recognize that we need help and actually asking for it is one of the strongest things we'll ever do. Alrighty, so if you're on, please say hello, hit the thumbs up button, guys. If anything that I'm saying is resonating with you, please send me some love. So hit that heart button. And why I ask you to do that, it just really helps my video to go further. So a further reach, which allows me then to help more people. And that is my main aim. That is my purpose. And I really believe I've found my life's purpose in the sense of helping people to be their best version and to be that little bit better every day. So I'm really keen, and I'm really passionate about wanting to help people. Alrighty, so please share my video if you believe that it will help somebody. Alrighty, so getting back to what to do when you're just not feeling so good within you. Alrighty, so I think it's really, as I mentioned, really important to recognize it, and actually in that moment, show yourself some compassion. Like, for myself, I used to be someone that as soon as I felt low or bad about something or just didn't feel good within me, like then that little voice, so that ego voice in my head would be saying, oh, but you shouldn't be feeling like this, and you've got so many things to be grateful for. Absolutely, we do. We do have so many things to be grateful for. However, it's also okay in that moment to not feel grateful and to not feel okay. And actually showing yourself some kindness and some self-compassion really goes a long way, alrighty? Because you are worthy and you are deserving. You are loved, and know that you're not alone. And I can understand that it feels like you are, but you are not alone. Alrighty, there are lots of people around you that love you, that want you to be here, and that actually care for you. And if at any time you need just an ear to listen, then I'm here. Alrighty, I'm more than happy to be that ear for you. Alrighty, so show yourself some self-compassion and understand that it's okay. Alrighty. Now, along my journey as well, what I have recognized is the times that I'm not feeling my best within me is more often than not the times that I am actually neglecting myself and neglecting my self-care. So the times that I'm not actually, giving to myself, so filling my cup up. I'm constantly giving, and as a parent, as a mum, I'm giving. I work in or my business is a role again where I'm giving to everybody. So if I am not then giving to myself, then I can feel extremely depleted. And that's not to say, in that space that you're not a good mum or you're not a good dad, you're not a good parent, you're not a good, colleague, family member, anything like that. No, not at all. However, you do need to fill your own cup up first to be able to give yourself fully to the people around you. Because I can guarantee if you don't have a full cup yourself, the people around you and the closest people, the ones that you love the most, are the people that bear the brunt of your frustration, your anger, your built up resentment. So they are the ones that bear the brunt, and they're the ones that we most don't want to bear the brunt. Alrighty, so it's super important that we're actually filling our own cup up first. Alrighty, so do you spend 5 minutes a day, minimum 5 minutes a day, actually doing something for you? And I want you to ask yourself that. And if the answer is no, then you need to start doing that. And when I say 5 minutes to start really small, and that's fine. We start small to then build up, because we're wanting then to start that as a new habit, as a routine that we want to embrace for ourselves. So that 5 minutes could simply be sitting down and having a cup of tea in silence, where there's no kids around, the TV isn't on, you don't have your phone with you, it's just you, your cup of tea, and your thoughts. So that's 5 minutes that you're giving to you. Whether it's in the shower that you're spending 5 minutes rubbing some cream into your face, where you're actually being really mindful about that and feeling the textures and, enjoying the way it makes you feel. It could be 5 minutes sitting down reading a book, because you just don't get the chance to do that. So it's got to be 5 minutes of doing something that sets your soul on fire. Because as a mum, we're doing lots of things for everybody else that a lot of the time we just put ourselves last, and then we forget about ourselves. And by the end of the day, we're so tired that we just feel as if we don't have the time then for ourselves. And that's a real detriment then to us. Alrighty, so a lot of the time when we're not feeling good within us, it's because we're not actually doing things that serve us. Alrighty, so something that really sets your soul on fire, something that makes your heart sing. That's what I want you to do, and spend 5 minutes per day doing that. Alrighty, and that will really help to build that self-love and build that self-care. And actually, spending time with yourself in that space really starts to build that self-belief and that love for ourselves. Alrighty, because also a lot of the time, and when speaking to people over the phone, and even my members, my current members, when it comes to health and fitness and setting goals and actually achieving the things that you want, whether it be weight loss, fat loss, anything to do with that, we will not, and I repeat, we will not be able to reach the goals that we really want if we don't like ourselves and if we don't spend time with ourselves. Alrighty, so that is the one thing, and I can guarantee the top thing that will hold you back from achieving your goals. Alrighty, so learn to spend that time with yourself and learn to actually enjoy it and ask for it. If you have to ask your partner to look after the children for 5 minutes while you chill out, ask for it, because that's super, super important. And it's actually putting you first. It's putting trust in you, so it's building that self-trust. It's building that self-belief about you and loving you. And that's really important along our health and fitness journey. Alrighty, so some other things as well is, so when I'm not feeling so good about me, is I actually like to, I feel as if I'm quite a self-aware person. So actually sit and ask myself some questions. So I want you to write these questions down, and the next time that you're not feeling so good within you is actually sit with these questions and ask yourself these questions and be completely honest, So I want you to ask yourself what it is you're feeling about yourself in that moment that's allowing you to not feel good about you. So it could be that, you're not feeling good enough. And a lot of the time when it comes to us not liking ourselves and not feeling good within ourselves is because we're thinking we're not enough. Alrighty, it's the number one thought that pretty much every single person on this planet will have at some stage of their life. Now, not necessarily every day. However, the people that aren't feeling good about themselves on a regular basis are actually thinking, I guess, the most thoughts about yourself in that space. So I'm not good enough. I'm not, I'm not deserving. I'm not, lovable. I'm not pretty enough. I'm not strong enough. That person is better than me. So comparison as well. Comparison will always be the thief of our joy. Alrighty, so ask yourself, what is it that I'm thinking about myself right now? Because remember, nobody can make us feel a certain way about ourselves. They most certainly can trigger something within us. However, those thoughts and those beliefs are already within us, and someone may just say something that triggers then that thought, because it's already a thought we have about ourselves within ourselves. Because if we didn't feel a certain way about ourselves, then something that someone else says, it would just brush completely off us. We probably wouldn't even notice it. And in all honesty, within myself, if I'm not feeling good about myself, then things that people say to me, I'm the first one to take them personally. Where my logical brain knows that nothing that anyone does is about me personally. It's about how they feel about themselves and how they're handling things themselves. So nobody or nothing that anybody says is a direct personal attack on you. Alrighty, it's about themselves and how they feel about themselves in that moment. Alrighty. So what is it that you're thinking about yourself in that moment? Alrighty, and then what I want you to ask yourself, is this story true? So is the thought that I'm having about myself true? Hey ladies, thanks for joining me. How you doing? So ask yourself, the story that you're telling yourself or that you're believing, is it true? Alrighty, I understand that it feels real, absolutely. However, is it actually true? So if I'm sitting here thinking I'm not good enough, I believe that that is true. However, is it actually true? Because I most certainly am good enough. Is it a story that someone else, a caretaker, a friend, a non-friend, someone in the playground or someone, in our workplace, have they told us something that then we've chosen to believe? Alrighty. And this is a really important part. We actually have the choice whether to believe something or not. Alrighty, and that is so, so empowering. And that's what I want you to remember. You have the choice to believe something or not to believe something. And that a lot of the time we believe it because we don't feel good within ourselves, and we don't believe that we are enough, or that we're, smart enough, making enough money, whatever our not enough is. We believe that, so that when someone says something to us, it's like almost a confirmation bias in that sense, because we already believe it. So then we believe that this person is then just confirming what we already believe. Alrighty. And because we have up to 70,000 thoughts a day. Alrighty. And those thoughts, the majority of them are the thoughts that we've had the day before. So if we're having the exact same thoughts day in and day out, it's going to lead to the exact same behaviors. And those exact same behaviors then will equal the exact same choices that we make. So as you can see, it starts to become a real vicious cycle. Alrighty. So again, you have the choice to believe what you want to believe about yourself. Alrighty. So you have the choice to stop those thoughts and to actually inject into your mind and into you some more serving thoughts. Alrighty. So a lot of the time, and this is where this will come in really handy for you, a lot of the time when we wake up in the morning, the first thing we do is we reach for our phone. So straight away we're filling our mind with someone else's bullshit, pretty much. So, what someone else has achieved, what someone else's life is like, the sadness or the grief that they're then going through. So we're filling our mind with dis-ease before we've even had a chance to think about how we feel for the day. So how about, instead of actually reaching for your phone as the first thing, actually write down maybe your favorite quote, or an inspirational quote, or a funny meme, or, something that makes you smile, something that makes you feel good, and actually put that, on a piece of paper right next to your bed, and have that be the first thing that you pick up in the morning. Have that be the first thing that you read in the morning. Alrighty, so that will then inject into you happiness, positivity, feel good thoughts about you. Alrighty. So once you've actually, sat with yourself asking those questions about, the stories that you're believing about yourself, what I want you to do as well is actually, the feeling that you are feeling, sit with the feeling, actually consider and be aware of how it's making you feel within your body. Is it your heart? Are you feeling it in your heart? Or does it feel as if the feeling is strangling you? Or is it feeling in your head? Like, where is that feeling coming from? And recognize where it is and where you're feeling it within your body. Okay? And then how does that make you feel? Alrighty. So there's a lot of questions here to ask yourself. And that's okay. You're not going to, perhaps your first time, you're not going to ask yourself every single one of these questions. But this really just helps you to then uncover why you might be feeling like this. Because we don't want to just band-aid over the feeling that you're getting. And a lot of the time, when we dig just that little bit deeper, we will discover that it might be a reoccurring thought. And that is when we have a lot of power, because we can then discover what that reoccurring thought is and actually then, question that thought. Alrighty. So it could be, I don't feel good enough. Well, why don't you feel good enough? Because if I don't, lose weight, my partner's no longer going to love me. Okay, so what will happen if your partner no longer loves you? How will that make you feel? That makes me feel scared. So really, what we're uncovering here is a fear of perhaps being alone, or a fear of not being loved, that's coming from when you're thinking that you're not good enough. Alrighty, so we've uncovered a lot of things just by asking ourselves why a couple of times. Alrighty. And then when you get to that deep down feeling, ask yourself, what part of me needs something right now to feel and to nurture me and to feel better? So that feeling of, being alone or not being loved, what part of you in that moment needs the nurture and the care to actually feel good? And it could just be a case of you sitting then with that feeling and actually telling yourself, I am lovable, I am enough, and I will be okay with whatever happens. And actually having that self-belief around that, which I understand can be extremely challenging. However, we're also looking at long-term here. Alrighty, so feeling good within the moment, absolutely, but also trying to stop these reoccurring thoughts that will be happening with you. Now, some things that I like to do in the moment, and I realize I'm going over time here, so my apologies. However, I think this is really important. This topic is super, super important, and I know it's going to help you. So the first thing that, after I've asked myself some questions, what I like to do is actually change my environment. So if I'm sitting inside my house, and feeling crappy about myself or about my environment or about what's happening, then I love to get outside, get out in nature. I go for a walk, listen to the birds, see the butterflies, feel the sun when there is some sun, or feel the rain, go and dance in the rain. Just get out of your environment that you're in now. I guarantee it will help you to feel better. Alrighty. And what else did I have here? Yeah. Again, going back to what I said at the start, if these are continual thoughts, then please, please, please seek some help if you need it. There is no shame whatsoever in asking for help. Alrighty. And then what I want you to ask yourself as well is, who would I be, or what would happen if I chose not to believe the story I'm telling myself? So if I'm telling myself a story that I'm not good enough, how would you feel, or what would your life be like if you weren't telling yourself that story? What would your life be like? What decisions would you be making if you believed you were good enough? Alrighty, so give yourself just that moment to dream right then and there, because you are worthy of every single dream that you have. You are deserving of achieving everything that you want to achieve. Alrighty, so that's something that's so, so important, and something that is really close to my heart in that sense, and something I really strive to teach my daughter, and not only in words but by actions. So what actions I take, she is watching everything that I do. So if I'm not talking nicely to myself, if I'm treating myself and my body with disrespect or with unkindness, then she's learning that, hey, if mummy does that, then that's what I should be doing. And I don't want my daughter to be growing up, thinking that she's not good enough, or believing that she's not good enough, or not anything enough, because she has the potential to be anything and everything that she wants to be. And that's something, as I said, I'm really passionate about, really allowing her and teaching her in that sense. Alrighty guys, so I really hope you enjoyed the video today. Please, 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 as I said, share to someone that you believe that this might help. If anything's resonated with you, I would love for you to send me a heart button. As I said, that just helps with my reach, my video reach, so it goes further, so it can help more people. Alrighty guys, I really hope you have the best Thursday, and if you do or would like to talk to anybody and need a non-judgmental ear just to listen, then I am here, so please reach out. Alrighty, see you next time. Bye.